Happy Saturday, folks. Madcat firing up the hot stove. We are 1 week away from the MASL-W opener in Portage for Detroit City FC as they take on Kalamazoo. So, yep, the season has getting ready to begin once again. So, very, very short off season. Meanwhile, we got some hot stove items to share with you. First off, let's kick things off with a contract extension. One Michael Bryant has returned to LaRouge, is staying with LaRouge. He signed a 2-year contract with the club. His deal will last through the 2026 season. Since joining the club before the 2022 USL Championship season, Bryant has become a crucial part of the back line and has played in many areas of the field for LaRouge. So he started in 24 of 30 matches, played for DCFC in the 22 season. 32 of 34 matches in the 23 season. Last year, played in 34 matches starting in 26. Only goal of the season for Bryant this year was his goal in Miami against the Miami FC. So he would also force 36 interceptions on the back line in 2024. So, and he also became the 5th City Centurion in club history on September 14th. So he is, and since his debut in 2022, he has forced the most interceptions in the club with 150 interceptions in 107 games. So glad to see Mikey back in the fold, the Mustache Mafia in full force going forward in 2025. Also for Detroit City this week, they signed themselves what is going to be a backup goalkeeper here. Carlos Herrera got signed to a 2-year deal with Detroit City. He comes from Monterey Bay, where he spent the last couple seasons there. He played his college soccer at Texas A&M International for 2017 and 2018. He would finish 16, 10, and 5 in his 2 seasons there with 10 clean sheets. He would post a career-high 84.1 save percentage in the 2017 season. He's an MPSL. I want to say MPSL grad here, but he played for the Laredo Heat in 2018-2019. The team earned a trip to the regional semifinals in 2018. And he also played twice in the Open Cup, or U.S. Open Cup. He signed his first professional contract with Monterey Bay in the 2022 season. Limited as far as his career goes. Let's see. He played a total he was in 7 games in 2022. Started 18 matches in 2023. Last year he started 9 matches. So possibly as far as this move goes, you would want to say it's for a backup keeper in that realm, because obviously with Carlos Herrera ascending to the number 1 spot, nothing officially heard about Nate Steinwacher as of yet, as you know, but Herrera being the number 1, and now Saldana being not Herrera being Saldana being number 1, Herrera being number 2. We're thinking that's how the goalkeeping situation is going to pan out for next year for Detroit City FC. And it's not like Nate left the cupboard empty as he's leaving. There's 2 comparable replacements there as far as, and really and truthfully, when you look at it, when Nate left us back in the 2020 campaign for personal business, we ended up with a goalkeeper named Jean-Antoine. And Antoine has proven to be a viable goalkeeper in Nisa and another, top-notch goalkeeper along the way. So, as I mentioned, those are probably, uh, like I said, a good move there as far as the keeper. So right now you're looking at the back line being set with signings. Obviously, the two signings that happened in season: Stephen Carroll and David Amumensa, Michael Bryant being back, Shane Wheat being added to the fold as well. Maury Donor, he's more of a defensive midfielder, so it's starting to come together as far as a lineup is concerned, and we'll talk more about it going forward. I'll give you a starting 11 probably in one of my episodes coming up in the near future. How we look at it so far. Obviously, lots of postseason to come, so stay tuned for on the TikTok. I'll be announcing signings as they come along, and we're coming along pretty good, considering as far as signings go in the 2020 for the 2025 campaign. Detroit City made the announcement earlier this week as well about two players that are not returning to the club this year. Veteran Yazid Matthews, who's made tremendous contributions over the years, including one goal which got Detroit City a trophy in their first quote-unquote professional competition back in 2019. He scored the game winner at the Tin Can, so to speak, over in Pontiac as he defeated the Michigan Stars to clinch the MPSL Members Cup back then. So very pivotal, like I said, very integral part of the city's past. Detroit City deciding to part ways with him earlier this week. Also, it was announced that Brett Levi's will not be with the club next year. Levi's came in on the deal, which also brought in Dario Suarez last year. Injuries pretty much plagued his 2024, so sad to see him go. But he was a good spark for the last the last part of the 2023 campaign, helping us get to that playoff bid. But last year, very rarely used. A lot of it had to do with injury, and he was missed out there as far as a midfielder goes. So, the midfield tales continue, and the midfield depth issue continues for Detroit City, unfortunately. But like I said, great to see Brett as a member of Le Rouge. We wish him well along the way. So, interesting goings on this week in the championship as far as signings go and whatnot. Let's take a look at some of those signings that happened this week here. Manuel Cavito has re-signed with Birmingham Legion, one of their top players. He should help Ronaldo Damos out, as now he has come to the club on a loan / potential for transfer. So Cavita is 4.7 base goals added per American Soccer Analyst, ranked second best in his campaigns with the club. So even though it's a down year, I think the addition of Damus is going to help him. And of course, it also helps with Legion. They just handed extensions to Enzo Martinez and Tyler Pasher as well. So they could be a force next year going forward as far as the Eastern Conference goes. Greg Hurst, the leading scorer last year for New Mexico United, has had his contract extended. Hurst has scored 22 goals in 99 appearances for New Mexico United, and a big part of their surge to the top of the Western Conference this year. So, like I said, great move there as far as New Mexico is concerned. They're getting the band back together over in Louisville. Jansen Wilson has extended his contract with Lou City. Jansen Wilson was a summer trainee to a trialist to a starter with that club, kind of like the way Dominic Gasso was with Detroit City early on. Young kid, 23 years old, mostly playing up in front with Wilson Harrison, Ray Serrano. So, yeah, another signing as the strong get stronger down in Louisville. Damian Rivera signing with Phoenix Rising FC should help them with, Phoenix missing the playoffs last year. One of the best finishers in the championship with a strike rate goal every 175.2 minutes, 15 best in the league across the regular season with at least 5 goals. He was used as a super sub at Tampa Bay, so a big move for Phoenix there. I would say that could help them get back into the playoff fold next year. Another Tampa Bay guy going away as Cal Jennings left last week. So Tampa Bay not looking too good as far as their roster is concerned at this moment. El Paso signs Kenneth Hoban. Let's see here. Trying to think of more information as far as that goes. Academy player for the most part. He's the youngest signing, one of the youngest signings in club history there. Of course, probably sounds like a Dominic Gasso situation like there. Anthony Siaha has signed with the Indy 11. They needed some goaltending help. Hunter Salt had his loan was ended, so he's back with his club. So Indy needed some help in between the posts. Second highest save percentage in the championship, 74.1%. So now with Monterey Bay losing both their goaltenders this week, they're looking for somebody to put in between the pipes over there. So over his 2.5 seasons in Monterey Bay, Siaha has notched 207 saves, a save percentage of 73.8%, 19 shutouts, and 58 appearances. He also posted a 6.5 goals prevented mark compared to Carlos Herrera's 5.84, and for Monterey Bay that year, or for Monterey Bay the last season or so. So good news for Indy 11, bad news for Monterey Bay as they've lost both of their goalkeepers in 2024 from 2024 in 2025. Lexington keeps signing some talent in there. Speedy Williams goes to their formerly of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. He goes to Lexington. Elliot Goldthorpe is coming there as well. His let's see here. I'm trying to look for some numbers here. I don't see too many numbers there, but okay. Goldthorpe. Let's see. 10 goals, 5 assists, and 23 appearances for Vancouver Whitecaps 2 in MLS Next Pro. So, Another good signing for there. I mean, they're loading up there. They're loading for bear down in Lexington, and this was one of the worst sides in League One last year. So they are definitely loading up for bear over there, and they should be a competitive squad going forward in 2025. And then Florian Velo has re-signed with Loudoun United. He's a mainstay with the club. He made 150 appearances in Major League Soccer and in the USL Championship. Seeing the buy-in, Velo has he resigns with United is then a validation of what Soccer Ollie Gage and our director of soccer Ollie Gage and head coach Ryan Markin are taking the club in search of its first postseason berth. On the field, he was excellent. Arguably, in his first season, he came from Major League Soccer to Loudoun United. He had expected goals of 4.66 xG and 5.65 xA. The latter number ranked him in the top 15 of the USL Championships regular season for expected assists, added to the 6.54 goals added mark, or it contributed to a 6.454 goals added mark, third highest in a season in Loudoun's history. So signing one of your mainstays is always good for a club. So Velo being let's just say added into the fold for next year is going to help Loudoun United going forward. May get them into the playoffs as well. So lots of signings to go over. I mean, there's way too many. Follow up on USLTactics.com. John Morrissey has the transaction tracker going, and he goes over all. He goes on. He'll list who's going here and there and where and all that stuff. So follow John Morrissey's Blue Sky page and his Twitter page as well. He'll post that every so often. But USLTactics.com is where you want to go to find out all the latest transactions going on in the USL Championship. You want that smoke? Look, I ain't playing. I'm saying this ain't a joke. There ain't no bluffing. I'm calling you out for show. It's either all in or nothing. I go for broke. Who wants that smoke? A new competition is set to begin next year for Detroit City FC. Well, it's not really a new competition. It's a competition that started last year with just USL League One clubs. That is called the Jagermeister Cup, and all 38 teams will be in participation in this tournament. Detroit City is in Group 4 of this competition. With teams including Hartford Athletic, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Rhode Island FC, and the two newcomers to USL League One, Portland Hearts of Pine and Westchester SC. Now, the tournament is going to be structured. There will be 2 home games and 2 away games, and they will be playing 4 of those teams in that group. Home assignments will be randomly drawn. The group stage kicks off on April 26th and concludes the weekend of July 26th. After the group stage, a draw will set the matchups for the single elimination knockout rounds, which will begin 3 weeks later. The USL Jagermeister Cup will conclude with the final on the weekend of October 11th. As I mentioned, it's the first time that every club is going to be participating in this competition. So, every club in the top two professional divisions of USL will be participating in this competition. It should be some great, exciting soccer going on there. I'm assuming, though, the best record will reflect as far as the the tiebreaker and well, not best record, but goal differential will take place there. There's also going to be shootouts at the end of matches as well if the matches are drawn. So it's much like U.S. Open Cup competition. Every match that is played in that competition, if the two teams are tied after 120 minutes of play, they go into a penalty kick situation. So there will be shootouts as well to determine the winner of matches in this competition. So it's gonna be wild, folks. It's gonna be a wild competition, and a good thing about this is if you're a season ticket holder with Detroit City FC, don't worry about it. Those matches are included in your ticket package, so don't worry about that. So those two home matches, just like the women's matches, are included in your ticket package. So good news there as far as that goes. So more games, more bang for the buck, as they say in the more bang for your buck in advertising jargon there. So looking forward to that competition. That'll be coming up in 2025. So lots of great soccer coming up ahead here. More obviously, more details as as far as the structure goes and all that stuff, how teams are going to be determined as far as the playoffs go. I'm assuming it's going to be best record in each group. There's 6 different groups in there, and how to determine those to get them into the knockout phase is going to be determined. And of course, there's going to be another draw and all that stuff. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on, baby. Bring it on. So next week, as you know, Kalamazoo for the opener of the MASL-W season for the women. We'll do a brief preview in the next week's edition of the Musings. Soccer Night in Detroit returns on January 4th at the Fieldhouse as we take on some team from Iowa, I guess. The MASL schedule is out. It is on the MASL-W website. It hasn't gotten like I said, it hasn't been officially determined by the club, but the league, however, has released a schedule. That's out, maslw.com, or search for MASL-W on Google or whatever it is. You'll be able to find it. Be posting links to that as well on Blue Sky as far as that goes. As far as the schedule goes, but January 4th, I believe, is the first game at Detroit City Fieldhouse against some team from Iowa, I assume. I don't know. I'm not doing due diligence on the shall we say I should be doing more, so that's my bad there. So, but looking forward to it. The returning players include Gabby Schreiber, Megan Miles, Shannon McCarthy, Kayla Addison as well. It's going to be an exciting time down at the Fieldhouse, and make sure you get your tickets to get to see those games. It is a wild time, and if you got nothing to do on a Saturday night, we got 6 of those games coming to you between now and March. So it's going to be fun times at the clubhouse there. Okay, until then, keep follow me on TikToks at Brett Peel, Soccer Night in Detroit. I'll be posting more information as it comes along the way as far as new signings go and whatnot, and we'll recap it all as we do now. Following week, programming note: look for a special Soccer Night in Detroit reviewing the 2024 campaign, my top 10, my personal top 10. That'll be coming up around Christmas time. So look for that around the 24th, 25th there, as far as probably probably more like the 25th. So like a midweek edition of Soccer Night in Detroit, sort of, instead of the Musings. So it's kind of like a flip flop. But we'll have the year end edition or the year in review type deal. Top 10 moments of Detroit City in 2024. And as far as I'm concerned here. Other than that, we will see you next week keep tuning to TikTok as more signings come about. Until then, keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the galaxy.